Let's talk about the game here. Commissioner, do you think football is going to be around? I mean, I noticed there was one player that said the other day, he said he didn't know if football will still be here in 30 years. And we do know sports come and go. You know, when I was a kid, the big sports were baseball and boxing. And you don't hear much of boxing still around, but it's not where it was in those days. Will football be here?
Absolutely. I couldn't be more optimistic about it because the game of football has always evolved. Through the years, through the decades, we've always made changes to our game to make it safer, to make it more exciting, to make it a better game for the players, for the fans, and we have done that in a very calculated fashion. So I'm very optimistic about that.
Are there going to be changes in the rules? Or are we going to see different things introduced here? What are you thinking about?
Of course, we're always going to make changes in the rules, as we always have. When we see techniques that we think can lead to injuries, we're going to get them out of the game. One thing that we're going to look very closely at this year are low blocks. And can those low blocks cause injuries that can cause players to miss games and miss seasons? And we don't want to see that. Fans want to see the players on the field, and we want the players on the field.
And you're going to have a neurologist starting next year on the field at the games?
Yes, we're going to have an unaffiliated neurologist that will have to be there at every game, that will be there to support the team doctors. And if there's any need for their services, they will be available.
Shannon, what would you like to see? Do you think there's some changes needed here in the rules and the procedures?
I love what the commissioner is doing. I love the fact that he's taking the initiative, because it's easy to sit back and say, well, they're making the game soft. It's not what it used to be when we played. But they're not they don't have to deal with the litigation that the National Football League is facing. So the commissioner, along with the NFLPA, is trying to make the game as safe as they possibly can to make sure we don't have another situation, say 30 years from now, where we have another 4,000 or 5,000 people lined up to say, this is what happened to me when I played in the National Football League, and now we want compensation.
Phil, what do you think?
Oh, I think in 30 years, I think the league is going to be better than it is now. All this controversy we've been talking about the last year or two, how did it do this year? It went up. You know, interest is bigger than ever. And the one thing about the NFL, it's not like any other sports league. They change the rules every year to accommodate the fans, to make the game more exciting, and to make it safe. They're not afraid of change, and there are significant changes that go on every single year, and I know there'll be a few this year too.